Chapter 4 Introduction to HTML. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is a computer language used to create websites. These websites can then be viewed by anyone connected to the Internet. Hypertext Markup Language (HTML) is the main markup language for creating web pages that can be displayed in a web browser. HTML elements form the building blocks of all websites. Hypertext. Hypertext is the text which, when clicked, will link to some other web page or different location of the same web page. Markup is what HTML tags do to the text inside them. They mark it as a certain type of text, italicized text for example. HTML is not a purely computer programming language. It has code words and syntax like any other language. It is a scripting language. How does it work? HTML consists of a series of short codes called tags typed into a text file by the site author. The text is then saved as an HTML file and viewed through a browser like Internet Explorer or Netscape Navigator, etc. This browser reads the file and translates the text into a visible form, rendering the page as the author had intended. The purpose of a web browser is to read HTML documents and compose them into visible or audible web pages. The browser does not display the HTML tags, but uses the tags to interpret the content of the page. Elements and tags. Elements give structure to a HTML document and tells the browser how you want your website to be presented. Generally, elements consist of a start tag, some content, and an end tag. Tags are labels you use to mark up the beginning and end of an element. All tags have the same format. They begin with a less than sign and end with a greater than sign. Generally, there are two kinds of tags, opening tags and closing tags. The only difference between an opening tag and a closing tag is the /. You label content by putting it between an opening tag and a closing tag. HTML tags most commonly come in pairs like h1 and /h1, although some tags known as empty elements are unpaired. For example, img. They allow all the components like images and tables, etc. to be displayed on the browser just by telling your browser what to render on the page. Different tags will perform different functions. The tags themselves don't appear when you view your page through a browser. A simple tag can be used to change the format of some text. B. These words will be bold, /B, and these will not. In the example above, the text is enclosed within B and /B tags will be bold-faced when viewed through an ordinary web browser. Attributes. Attributes are another important part of HTML. An attribute is used to define the characteristics of an element and is placed inside the element's opening tag. All attributes are made up of two parts, a name and a value. The name is the property you want to set. For example, the font element in the example carries an attribute whose name is face, which you can use to indicate which typeface you want the text to appear in. The value is what you want the value of the property to be. The first example was supposed to use the Arial typeface, so the value of the face attribute is Arial. Font face is equal to Arial. The value of the attribute should be put in double quotation marks and is separated from the name by the equal sign. You can see that a color for the text has been specified as well as the typeface in this font element. Basics of HTML document. The basic structure for all HTML documents is simple and should include the following minimum elements or tags. HTML, the main container for HTML pages. /HTML, this indicates the end of an HTML document. Head, the container for page header information. /head, this is used to end the head. Title, the title of the page. /title, this is used to end the title. Body, the main body of the page. /body, this indicates the end of the body. The HTML element. The HTML element is the containing element for the whole HTML document. Each HTML document should have one HTML and each document should end with a closing /HTML tag. Following two elements appear after an HTML element. Head, body. The head element. The head element is just a container for all other header elements. It should be the first thing to appear after opening HTML tag. Each head element should contain a title element indicating the title of the document. Following is the example of head tag. Head, title, HTML, basic tags, title. Head. The title element. You should specify a title for every page that you write inside the title element. It is used in several ways. It is displayed at the very top of a browser window. It is used as the default name for a bookmark in browsers such as IE and Netscape. It is used by search engines that uses its content to help index pages. Therefore, it is important to use a title that actually describes the content of your site. The title element should contain only the text for the title and it may not contain any other elements. Example. Here is the example of using title tag. Head, title, HTML, basic tags, title. Head. The body element. The body element appears after the head element and contains the part of the web page that you actually see in the main browser window, which is sometimes referred to as body content. A body element may contain anything from a couple of paragraphs under a heading to more complicated layouts containing forms and tables. Most of what is seen on the web pages is written between the opening body tag and closing /body tag. Example. Here is the example of using body tag. Body, P. This is a paragraph tag. P. Body. Structure of HTML document. Now if we will put all these tags together, it will constitute a complete HTML document as follows. HTML. Head. Title, HTML. Basic tags, title. Head, body, P. This is a paragraph tag. Body, HTML. Creating and saving HTML document. Step 1. Open Notepad. Type the HTML code. Step 2. On the File menu, click Save. Step 3. Type a name for your document with the extension .htm or .html. Step 4. Click the Save button. Viewing an HTML document. To view the created document, open any web browser like Internet Explorer and follow these steps. Step 1. On the File menu, click Open. Step 2. In the Open dialog box, click the Browse button. Step 3. From the appeared dialog box, choose your HTML file and click Open button. Beyond the chapter. Tim Berners-Lee, inventor of HTML. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and URLs, Universal Resource Locators, in 1990. Tim Berners-Lee was the primary author of HTML, assisted by his colleagues at CERN, an international scientific organization based in Geneva, Switzerland. Let's summarize. HTML is a computer language devised to allow website creation. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML consists of a series of short codes typed into a text file by the site author called tags. The tags separate normal text from HTML code. An attribute is used to define the characteristics of an element and is placed inside the element's opening tag. An HTML document is saved with the extension of .htm or .html.